Hello there. Welcome to the show again. Today we're going to be talking about soap. Yes, the thing that both gets this bowl clean, keeps your hair from getting too oily, and protects you from coronavirus. To help us understand how this wonderful invention works, we're going to talk with Miss Kringle about the actual chemistry behind soap. I learned a lot today. Still haven't learned if peanut butter is a vegetable, and we get some help from a third camera person with Miss Kringle. Stay tuned for the end of the demonstration for her recommendations about movies, music, books, TV shows, and today's interview went pretty long, so I'm really trying my hand at some editing as I learn how all this works. Thank you for bearing with me. Give me any feedback or questions. Test. Mic check, mic check.
Check 1 2, check 1 2, mic check, mic check.
Mic check, okay. All right, that's coming to you edited but unfiltered. Let's just start right there. All right. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, maybe good evening, maybe good night. I'm Mr. Buse, and today, as I just said, we have Miss Kringle.
Am I already here?
Yeah, you're live.
Oh, cool. All right. Hi, everybody.
So,
and good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night.
yeah. Hopefully nobody's watching this too late.
We're live, people. It's unfiltered.
So, Miss Kringle, tell me, where exactly are you right now? It appears that you're somewhere very rustic. I see that you have a hunting trophy on your wall.
Yeah, this is definitely my hunting trophy.
Tell us about your work from home space, your current classroom.
Okay, so my current classroom is this room. We'll call it the den.
The den, yes.
But it's actually a multi-purpose room. So we've got, I used to be working on this table, but then it got taken over by a puzzle.
What's it a puzzle of?
What?
What's it a puzzle of?
Chicago.
Oh, appropriate. It's not like you can look out your window and just see it anyways.
Yeah. So downtown Chicago, it's very exciting stuff. But now I've been moved to the couch, and this is Clarence overlooking me. I did not shoot Clarence. He's actually from 1926.
Wow.
Yeah.
So his 100th birthday is coming up.
Very true.
Or it could. I don't know how long deer live. I
actually don't either.
I mean,
that's a new science question.
There it is. I mean, we have to settle peanut butter, but we'll see about that. And has Clarence been with your family for a long time, or Clarence is a new addition?
My father. My sister found him on Craigslist, and then my father painted him, which seems like it's animal abuse of some sort.
Well, I mean,
the teal. And then it was a gift, but in like chunks of him. This is also a guest bedroom.
Okay.
This couch turns into a pull-out couch, and chunks of Clarence will fall on you.
So like a snow effect.
Yeah.
Except instead of what is it, ice water? It's deer hide.
Ice water. Is that what we're calling snow?
I mean, I was trying to do. Isn't that the scientific term? Isn't it just ice water?
Frozen, I guess it's ice, right?
Isn't it? My whole purpose of this show originally was to ask science questions. I finally get a science teacher on the show.
I would just call it like ice, probably, not ice water. Ice water is like if I had cubes of ice in this water, right?
But it's water that's ice, right?
You could say solid water, but I think you would just say ice.
Because ice is just water that's solid and cold.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be cold. Because it could just be under extremely high pressure.
True.
Because you have hot ice.
But
hot ice is what you put on your sore arms. Right?
Like icy hot?
Icy hot. That's what it is. Not hot ice. Okay. So I'm going to say everything.
You're being honest right now.
I'm being honest right now. There's no bit. I know that soap is hydrophobic, correct? No, it's lipid phobic.
Do you want me to answer these questions right now?
No, okay. I
will say you are half true.
Okay.
You were half true with both of those statements.
Okay. Soap, people add scents to soap, but soap doesn't necessarily smell good. There are two things that make you smell good because you use soap. It takes off the things that smell bad. And sometimes, in the case of like Irish Spring or Old Spice or Dove scented, it puts on another smell that smells good.
Okay. Why are you so fixated on smells?
Because that's what we use soap for. Someone's like, ooh, go get some soap. Okay, number 3, I know that some soap kills bacteria, but most soap just removes bacteria.
Okay.
Number 4, people used to make soap out of animal fat. That's everything I know.
Okay.
So I have lots of questions about soap. I'm gonna let you.
Well, I think that you have most of the. I don't know. You've got a little piece of most of the stuff that you need to know.
Right.
Okay. So should I share my screen? I made a PowerPoint presentation.
Yes. Share it away.
It's hard to talk about molecules without.
Share it away. I'm just gonna roll with these questions, and this can be this is your new assignment for your juniors.
Oh, here we go. Yes, this is what I want to do. Is that showing?
Wow.
Should I even present?
Yeah, let's just go for it. Let's see what happens.
Okay, cool.
Wait. Hit escape.
Escape!
What is this? Coronavirus and soap.
Well, I'm going to talk about the coronavirus too.
This is awesome. You made this for this show?
I plagiarized images from the internet, yes.
Well, it's not plagiarizing if you say you're plagiarizing, because then you're citing it.
Okay, cited,
and
sources cited,
you can't see me right now, but these are you've got Lab Muffin, it's all cited from
It is
Lab
cited,
Muffin.
yeah.
There we go. Thank you, Lab Muffin.
Very reliable source.
This show, take a moment for our sponsors. We're going to take a moment, shout out our sponsors, Lab Muffin, the place to go for all your
molecule drawing needs.
There you go. All right.
Okay. So, yesterday you said something about lipids. I don't think you used that word today.
Yeah, because I don't know what lipids actually are.
Okay, cool.
I think they're fats.
They are fats.
But there's lipase, there's all these things.
Well, that's an enzyme that.
Yeah, that's
an enzyme.
Yeah.
So basically, a soap is made from a fat molecule or a lipid. And this, I think, is just like an oil molecule.
Okay.
It could be made from a bunch of different fats. So you talked about animal fats.
Okay.
It could be made from animal fats. I think usually it's plant fats.
So like vegetable oil.
Yeah. And so here are a bunch of fat molecules that you could, or fatty acids that you could use in your soap.
Okay. So in saturated fat, so can I eat soap?
I don't think it would kill you.
But would it be like eating bacon? Would I get some nutritional content out of it? Because you're saying there's fats in it. Or am I jumping ahead?
Well, so I'm sure you would get some calories from it.
Okay.
I don't know. It might have some other. I'm not 100% sure what would happen.
I'm not trying to restart the Tide Pod challenge here. But I'm just
yeah. Let's not do that.
This is the same fat though as this is fats in my food.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is called a triglyceride. You can see the tryness of it, right?
Oh.
Yeah. So this is really your starting material. Over here, so this reaction is called the saponification reaction. And you pretty much mix your fat with, something called lye. You probably maybe.
It's in movies a lot, in kind of scary scenes in movies.
Yeah.
Like,
so what it really is just a very strong base. And
okay.
Usually sodium hydroxide. Which
how many times do people make that joke?
every time I've explained soap making, which is once.
Great. Which finger was that? Okay, keep going.
Okay, and so you've got your strong base breaking off this glycerin. Okay, so our H's attached to the oxygens here. Cut those bonds.
Got it.
And the sodium attaches over here. We've got a sodium ion, sodium ion, sodium ion. These are all anions. So we have sort of an ionic end of our molecule and a fatty.
And a fatty. Oh, okay.
All right. And
so we're getting rid of the H2Cs of the glycerin.
So, and actually, I didn't actually know this, but apparently, so glycerin we use in lab all the time. But it can also, it's kind of like, have you ever felt glycerin or glycerol?
It's like a slimy stuff.
It's slimy. It's kind of like almost a little greasy. So then this is our soap, the sodium salt of a fatty acid. You can leave the glycerin in there and it like is a kind of a smoother, but the glycerin doesn't wash you. The soap molecules wash.
Do most soap makers get rid of the glycerin?
You'd have to Google for that.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But you can get rid of the glycerin, but you also can leave it in.
But it's worthless.
I think it's like smooths your skin.
Okay.
So I don't know. You can call that worthless, but sensual soft.
I like to have rough sandpaper.
Yeah. All right. So let's look at our molecule a little bit more closely. So you were saying something about hydrophobic, hydrophilic. And the answer is, what's great, the reason soap works is it's got a hydrophobic tail and a hydrophilic head to it. So what do those words mean? Well, phobias, you can think of like they're scared. So hydro, water, phobic, scared of water. So these big fatty lipid tails stick to fats. So soaps have an ability to stick to oils and other fat molecules.
Okay.
That be needing to break apart or wash. And then this like ionic will stick to water molecules. It's hydrophilic. I'm trying to think of an appropriate word with phile.
Philadelphia, city of brotherly love.
Okay.
I'm a chocolate phile. I love chocolate.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Yeah. There's a few more, but
yeah,
we'll leave them out.
Hydro love.
Hydro love is basically what it means. So this will stick to your water. So if you've been, you're washing up a greasy pan and realizing you can't wash it without, with just water, that's because the fats are nonpolar molecules that don't interact with water molecules, which are polar, meaning they have separation of charge on them.
Okay.
So you need to add the soap so that you can attract those oil molecules with your big fat tail, and then also attract the water molecules to kind of pull that stuff down and wash it down the drain.
So the tails literally like go in and like grab the bacon fat.
They will break apart. They will attract. They will stick to fat molecules.
Okay. Got it. And we have 3 of them here. Why do we have 3? Oh, because originally it's a triglyceride, and so we get 3. So for one triglyceride, you get 3 soaps?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Wow,
if we were like balancing our chemical equation.
That's a good trade. Okay, so we've got these soap molecules, and they're grabbing.
So maybe people want to learn about why soap is so important for killing the coronavirus.
I mean, that was my next. I'm still fixated on smell.
Oh, okay. Well, this will probably do both.
So I've got a stinky. My dog smells bad. He truly smells terrible.
Yeah.
And I soap him up and I wash him off, and then he smells less bad. What are the pieces of smell like? Are they getting grabbed by the soap too?
So I think, and I'm not a smell expert, but I've heard that most stinkiness is actually caused by bacteria.
Okay, so coronavirus, not a bacteria, but a virus, which is like a bacteria, sort of.
So soaps can help you murder both.
Murder soap, great.
So and here we go. So bacteria, I think, is usually the source of stinkiness.
Yes.
So soaps can help, bust up bacteria cells and remove them from your skin. And that's similar to what's happening with our coronavirus when we wash our hands for 20 seconds. Here are little soap molecules with the hydrophilic head and the hydrophobic tail.
Right.
And then
there's the bad coronavirus over there.
So over here we've got our coronavirus.
Bad.
And
is this to scale?
The word lipid.
Yes.
So basically surrounding the coronavirus is a wall of fat.
Like a human abdomen.
Like a what?
Like a human abdomen. Like we.
Yeah, sure.
Except
much
exposed.
thinner wall of fat. So
okay.
The biology kids might have heard of something called a phospholipid bilayer. I won't get into it too much, but I think the bio kids probably know what that is.
Phospholipid bilayer. Great.
Phospholipid bilayer.
Phospholipid bilayer.
Yeah, and it makes boundaries in cells. So basically, you've got a lipid layer around here that's protecting the genetic material of the virus. So what soaps do is they'll come in here and let me see if it shows. Yeah, look.
Whoa, oh!
This is actually from the New York Times to cite my source here. So the lipids come in and, wiggle in there, and the fat tails will bust up that lipid
like they kind of
layer.
Like
Yeah.
Like stab it and get in there and
Just break them apart. So
like rip them apart, sort of, because the tails get stuck on there, and then like.
Yes, and then you wash. Hopefully, you're breaking up all your viruses. The other thing that is interesting, so these viruses are lipids on the outside, and your skin, especially after a week of social distancing and never washing yourself, is covered in lipids. So
like just
your
grease.
Skin actually attaches to the virus pretty well. So if you touch a surface with the virus on it, those lipids will like to stick to you because you've got a lipid kind of organic layer on your hands.
So when I tell students stop eating Flamin' Hots and touching my Chromebooks, it's not only because it's gross, but it's also because they have more lipids on their hands from the Flamin' Hots, and they're picking up even more.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, if a kid left some oogie boogie germs on your computer, yeah, I suppose they can pick them up and then they're licking their fingers. Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you.
I mean, I am not a germaphobe, and I admitted to my one of my classes that in normal circumstances, I'm not a big hand washer. But I am washing my hands now, and
Kringle doesn't wash her hands.
What?
What?
Did you just judge me?
No, I just stated a fact. Would you consider yourself a germophile?
Yes.
Germophile. Kringle is a germophile.
Germophile.
That's germophile.
Yeah.
Okay, so the lipids get in there, rip apart the virus, and you wash the virus down the drain.
So they help. Soaps help in two ways: breaking up our lipid balls, and then also getting them off your skin. Which, I think with hand sanitizers, if you've got the 60% and above, it will kill it can kill the virus.
But it doesn't.
But like I think there's like a chance that it won't. Like you really have to soak them. You have to soak every inch of your hand in the 60%. And then also if anything survives, you're not removing it from your hand.
Right. And so you just have a bunch of crushed virus cells on your hand when you do.
Sure, which I don't think is a bad thing, but like if you don't do a good job of antibacterial, or not antibacterial, but like disinfectant your hands, you know, it's possible they don't bust up, and then they're definitely not getting removed from your skin.
Great. Okay.
Well, I don't need to talk about my cells, but well, actually, so this thing over here, should I just show my little soap thing?
I'm very.
Or do we have more questions?
The micelle. I'm gonna try to teach the micelle.
Okay, cool.
So the micelle, after they get in there and they bust up this virus, there's still some hungry pieces of soap, basically, that are still looking for some lipids to love. And they all get in there and hug that piece of lipid. And they all say, I want this piece of lipid, like the seagulls in Ice Age. Like mine.
Is that Ice Age or is it Finding Nemo?
Finding Nemo. What was the funny part of Ice Age? Oh, the
I
squirrel.
didn't watch it.
Oh,
the
watch
acorn,
it. The squirrel. Yeah. Similar.
I
But
only
there's
saw
only,
it in
there's
the
only
ad.
like one squirrel. So, but it's like the seagulls all coming in like mine. And then they all surround it and they all go down the drain together.
Okay, I have a follow-up question for you.
Yes.
Why are all these blue dots on the outside
Because they
and all these tails on the inside?
Because the tails love the fat and the blue dots hate the fat. And so the blue dots are like, get me away, but the tails are like, get me there.
Yeah. What is out here? What is this? Do you think?
Water.
Yeah.
Oh, water. And so the blue dots are also like, I hate the fat, but I love the water.
Chemistry /
I honestly thought soap didn't kill bacteria and germs and germs in general. I thought it just washed them off your hands. I just learned something new.
So I think it kills some, not all.
Right.
So I think like coronaviruses, it kills.
So
I think Ebola, it kills, and like HIV, it kills. So it depends on like how strong that outer layer is.
okay.
Something.
And these protein spikes, once they're detached from the virus, we don't care about them anymore. They're not going to hurt us.
No.
Okay. Because those are.
Well, they've got nothing telling them what to do, I guess.
So it's like an unloaded gun floating around with no one picking it up. Is that too violent?
Maybe more like
unloaded super soaker, an empty super soaker, an empty Nerf gun
with nobody holding it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, I get it.
Okay. I'm gonna stop the share.
Stop the share and let's do some. Good to have you.
Okay,
back.
I'm gonna show you. And should we bring in our other
We're
friend
walking
here?
through. Yeah, oh, looks like we're in a kitchen.
So we're moving to the kitchen.
We're in a kitchen. Oh, is
there's
that
my roommate?
Oh, hey, it's Mr. Caplan.
Hey guys, you should all have roommates when you grow up. Do you have a roommate, Mr. Buse?
Save
I
on
do.
rent.
I have a few roommates.
Cool.
I've got my wife and my child and my dog, and now I have a koi pond, which I would love to fill in.
A koi pond?
Yeah, it's a.
Who all pays rent?
Well, the dog does not. The dog is a freeloader. The child pays rent in forms of tribute. There's much tribute that is given to her child.
They just like
meals and gifts.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so she's
Sacrifices.
she's pulling her own much more than
The dog.
the dog. The
The
dog
dog's
is
my favorite part of your intro video, though.
well. That is exactly what he's like most of the day.
Well, do you want to grab your other
Okay.
filming device?
Yeah, we're gonna do a first for this show. We're gonna have 3 cameras going at once.
That works, right?
That is and that is a clean plate.
It's a clean slate.
Yeah. I mean, that must have you used soap. That's while you're doing this. If a plate is dirty, there's no viruses on it, but there's pieces of fat and junk on it. And
Well,
so
there could be viruses on
Yeah,
it.
but we can't see them. So, but that's the same thing's happening. The soap is pulling off in the same way it pulls off the viruses. It's the olive oil. There we go.
Some olive oil.
Oh, that's a nice plating job. That actually kind of looks kind of gross.
Yeah, it does.
I'm gonna do computer audio.
Oh, hello.
Oh, we got a nice echo going on.
So wait,
Okay, hold on.
I think we want another view of the plate.
Hold on.
We want as many views of the plate as possible.
Look at this high-tech setup. Okay. Now,
Okay.
I think the best view is going to be we've got the plate in one screen. And so yeah, this is good right here. There we go. Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so you can. All right.
Is the glare though gonna be an issue right here?
Well, you can.
Yeah, but we can
the
see it
plate.
well in that one. We can see it well in the
I
other.
hope so. I mean, and then people don't get so excited because all I'm going to do is drop some soap.
Time out.
Okay.
So that's olive oil and water.
Olive oil, water. That's it.
Okay.
And then it might look good. It might not look good. I don't know. We'll see. It looks good in person.
Wait, stop.
I already did it.
Whoa, it did well. It worked.
What do you mean by stop?
I was gonna
I
try
can
to
do
do
it
something.
again. It took
I was
2
gonna try to
seconds.
do something super high tech where someone gets their phone out and films it and then whatever.
Well, so did you see what happened though?
Yeah, I'm gonna run a replay of it right now. I'm gonna edit in a replay. So can you
Okay, well-
explain what happened though? I'm gonna do a replay in slow.
Do I need to explain or have you?
I'm gonna explain.
Is it?
Soap went in and the soap.
Yeah.
The soap made. Wait, are those like little micelles?
Mhm.
So there's pieces. There's like little islands of fat because around it is soap, and all the fat,
Yes.
all the tails are trying to eat the soap, and all the
Yeah.
blue dots are trying to get to the water.
I mean, I'm just
So,
trying
yeah.
to get breaking up my micelles
Yeah,
a little
but
bit.
so eventually they'll return to being micelles.
Yeah. Well, though,
Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of break up the big ones into smaller ones.
Yeah, no, but right, and I can tell earlier it was just kind of. It doesn't look as gross now because it doesn't look as much as just like a smear of oil and water. Now it's like little dots of water. So
Yeah.
when there's an oil spill in the ocean, this is why they use Dawn soap.
Yes. Do they use Dawn soap? They also can use hair.
Use hair?
Yeah, like hair will sop up the oily mess.
Why does hair
So,
sop?
Another thing you can do if you've got, I guess I can talk to this camera. If you've got, which I wanted to do, but like if you've got milk, because milk has some fats in it and you put food coloring in it. But I didn't have any food coloring.
Right, 'cause you're
You
not a
can
food
have
coloring
a little
house.
bit of fun. Just put some drops of food coloring and then put some soap and it'll go crazy.
Awesome.
Because the molecules are just trying to arrange themselves so that they're separating, forming the little micelles around the fats.
Right. So right now, when you mix it up like that, now it's just making a bunch of smaller micelles.
Yeah, it's hard to see because let's see if we can.
Yeah.
I mean, this camera's just a
Oh.
little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks CP. Well, I shouldn't say that. The
Okay.
camera on my Dell is not doing it justice, really. But you can definitely see micelles there.
Wow. And if this were the viruses would also be kind of shredded and destroyed. Wow. Thank you, Miss Kringle.
Cool.
A truly
And now you know why you need soap to wash your dishes, right?
Right. Well, now I'll start using soap to wash my dishes. Before I just do the visual test. So, we're moving into the last part of the show. I'm going to ask you, what do you recommend? Oh, nice ring. Just showing off that rock. Who got you that? Anyways, what do you What are you doing to pass the time? Oh, that's a great background. What are you doing to pass the time? What do you recommend to read? What are you watching? What are you listening to? Any of those things.
Okay, let's see here. I am reading a book, but it wouldn't interest me if it's a teachy book.
Okay.
Well, actually, it's pretty cool though. It's called How We Learn or something like that, and Why It Happens. Which I thought it was going to be really teachy, but it's actually more like psychology stuff. So
okay.
It's like psychology, and I think going into college, it might be good to read because they basically. It's just an interesting story about like how learning happens in your brain, and then it goes to like a macro scale of how like how to best learn stuff.
And it's changed the way you teach, or is it changing the way you teach?
Not yet, because I haven't taught anything yet, but it's interesting. Some of what happened there? Oh, maybe brain.
I muted your video.
Oh, okay.
You can put it back up
anymore. So what was I gonna say? Oh, well, I haven't gotten to this part yet, but in the intro they say naps are fine and you can also be distracted, but I shouldn't tell the youth that.
Naps are fine, like during class?
No, not during class, but like I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't gotten
Okay. We'll come back. We'll come back to you. We'll ask you about naps in school.
Well, yeah, he's basically like, there's a lot of things that we tell people they need to be doing to study, and they're all sort of wrong.
Oh, I think if this closure goes on deep into April, we'll have to bring you back on to talk about that book about naps. What do you?
But I have more content because I don't even like really read that book that much.
You want more science content?
No. More stuff to look at. I would love it if there was a student at Solorio who would watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Right. I was going to ask you next, what are you watching? So you're saying Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that's from the 90s. I don't want to watch it. That's what all the students are saying. So why should they watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
I mean, it's a great glimpse into the 90s. I mean, basically it's the 90s again. People, you're all wearing like chokers and crop tops and stuff.
So what's Buffy the Vampire Slayer about?
It's just about a powerful woman who crushes vamps and also just seeks justice. But we're also watching, speaking of justice, we're watching The Watchmen, which might be a little heady for people, but it's pretty good.
Yesterday, in yesterday's video, Mr. Gandolfi recommended watching The Watchmen.
I mean, it's intense. There were like 3 or 4 episodes where I was like, I don't know what's happening. And it's good to read like some historical context around it a little bit. But it's good. It's probably not appropriate for some, but I should just say that.
It's the Wild West now. It's the Wild West now. Everybody's at home watching whatever they want on HBO now.
Okay.
So
podcasts are good.
Well, before we move on, I'm a student. I trust your opinion. I've only got time for Buffy the Vampire Slayer or The Watchmen. How do I choose which one?
Do you have HBO?
So if I have HBO, watch The Watchmen? Or is Buffy like, which one's more? If I'm like, I'm too stressed out, I don't want to be stressed anymore.
Buffy.
Okay, if I'm like,
Buffy will make you laugh. The Watchmen will not make you laugh. It will make you hurt inside.
If I'm feeling bored and unchallenged by life right now, Watchmen?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so podcasts, you listen to some podcasts. What kind of podcasts are you listening to?
Well, just in general, listening to podcasts is nice, and it's a soothing way to like, you could kind of do something while you're listening.
Have you ever considered making your own podcast?
No, I don't have that much to talk about.
We just spent an hour talking about soap. You had 3 slides. We've been sitting down for an hour. You got plenty to talk about.
But I would say Serial had their latest podcast was really good. It's about like the Pennsylvania justice system. It's also going to make you kind of want to punch a wall. I like the TED radio hours. Those are good. There's one about zero waste that people should get into.
Zero waste.
Change your lives. But yeah, there's lots of good podcasts. I mean, well, and I won't mention one I like that I think is actually inappropriate.
That'll be for our Patreon subscribers. Hey, subscribe to our Patreon today, and we'll give you bonus content that includes Miss Kringle's inappropriate podcast recommendation. Okay, and movies or TV shows, anything? Oh, wait, we just talked about TV shows. Oh, music. Are you listening to music?
Oh, well, one other TV show that sort of feels like a movie. We watched McMillions.
I don't know
Have you heard
McMillions.
of that?
No.
Oh, it was very cool. It's like, I don't know why I'm blanking right now. Oh, McDonald's Monopoly for like 50 years was rigged or something like that from like in the 90s and the late 80s.
Students might not know McDonald's Monopoly, but it's basically
Why? Don't they still do it?
do they? It's like Jewel Monopoly, but with bigger prizes. Because Jewel Monopoly.
Do they not do McDonald's Monopoly anymore?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Look,
that's
I've
tragic.
consumed a decent amount of McDonald's in the past 3 years, and I don't think I've been offered any McDonald's pieces.
Oh, okay.
Unless I'm going to the wrong McDonald's.
Or maybe they put it all online stupidly.
Yeah, whenever something's like go online to redeem your code, I say no,
Yeah, I'm
thank
never
you.
gonna do that.
Give me the
Even if it's
piece
$1
of paper.
million.
Give me the piece of paper.
Well, but anyway, so Monopoly, you could win like 500,000, 1 million.
Yeah.
And they found out that this guy was giving them all to his friends, all the winning pieces.
Oh, so when they're like, if you're an employee of McDonald's, you're not.
Are you
allowed-
reacting?
Yeah, because I used to play. I mean, that's the thing is I used to play McDonald's Monopoly. Like that was part of my. That's why I went to
used
McDonald's
go
instead of
for
Burger King.
breakfast and stay till lunch
You'd go for breakfast and lunch.
in one day.
Yeah,
This would be efficient.
yeah. So I'm gonna watch McMillions. I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch McMillions. Okay. Last question. Ask science question. Is peanut butter a vegetable? Okay, so here's what I've determined so far. It is a legume.
Yes.
Peanuts are a legume. Legumes are vegetables.
I don't feel like, I mean, so they grow like a lentil and a soybean. I kind of think they are vegetables if we count soybeans as vegetables.
Okay, now, Mr. Gandolfi said that because it's a product, because you take the vegetable of the peanut and turn it into something else, it's no longer a vegetable.
Okay, let me think of a parallel product. Like a salad.
Right, that's what I said. Because then it's like if I chew up a piece of spinach, is it no longer a vegetable after I've chewed it?
Or if you make like a stir fry out of a broccoli.
Right. Is the vegetable destroyed?
I'm trying to, or like seaweed. You know, when people eat seaweed, does that still count as a vegetable? Maybe not.
So, peanut butter, vegetable or not?
I'm going to say, like, if you eat, though I don't think of lentils as vegetables.
So, peanut butter, not a vegetable.
I'm going to say not a vegetable because lentils they're just different. It's a different, so lentils, peanuts, soybeans. I'm going to have to change the way I think about soybeans.
Right, but
But
tofu's
that's
not a vegetable. I don't know. I'm feeling, I asked this as a joke to Miss Bacamini. I thought it was just going to be a stupid question. Now it's honestly troubling me. Okay, Ms. Kringle, before we leave, any questions or challenges to students or to the next, you can turn your video back on there.
Well,
We have a weird thing happening where the audio is coming from the other
Is
computer.
it working though?
Yeah. So,
Is it here?
yeah, perfect.
A challenge to the children?
Yeah, to the children. A challenge to the children.
How about, well, how are they completing these challenges? How do they submit their responses?
I every time I change how this show ends, so this hasn't really happened yet.
Okay.
It can be to your. They can be to your students if you're going to require this video.
How about
Enrichment.
challenge, make a better soap demo?
There we go. Oh, send us your soap demo. All right, Ms. Kringle, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for helping introduce a
It was
3-camera
pleasure.
system. And until next time, see you later.
Goodbye.
Now, but I'm going to stop your video for now, Caplan, and then, well, I mean, we could just.
No, he knows nothing.
Okay, stop video. Okay, Caplan, you are booted. Oh, but it's got you on here. Hey, Caplan, can you not come in until it's time for the demonstration?
So I should mute.
No, you
No,
should
because
leave.
you should just leave.
No, because you should just leave.